this year because
I know, yeah, I know you have.
and sometimes that fluctuates. Like if I, for instance, like the clerks conferences, those aren't just in Boise. Sometimes they're up north. Um, they're in eastern Idaho. So
What line up, what line?
56.
560.
There it is. So 31 is what you're projecting just for.
yeah, we have spent close to about 25 to 30,000 just in our own trainings and travels.
In the past,
In the
not this year, because most of it went to Mr. King.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And us.
Yes.
We're in that pile too.
You guys are in that pile as
Stuff
well.
like the AFC conferences.
So all
and
the
other
AI,
stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Apparently not me, because I don't go to those things.
I went to one. Must be on the list for.
No, I'm just saying prior, like that's where it's coded out.
All right, so you need 30.
It's right here.
Yeah.
At the maximum.
Yeah. Right, but
That's at the
that's
50.
him asking what that's what the 50 on
Mhm.
top of this. So, but I'm saying if we go down to like the limited option.
And you'd be looking at 66 to 67,000 in that line.
Yeah.
And Tiffany, did we get numbers back? Paula, about switching salary over? Because we had it allocated. Mr. King's salary was split.
We changed the spreadsheet. It's updated.
So if we did limited, it would be like 65,000 for everybody there. Would that be a good meet in the middle for you?
The limited would be 31,000 for
No, but including
admin.
Tiffany.
1,000 is it's currently there. The 50,000 increase is solely Mr. King's.
I know. So then if you do 31 plus 35,
But you said minimum. There is also a 12,000. So clarification.
that's I said limited. That's called primary local.
As
I'm going off of your.
No,
As a-
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
as a quick tangent to this thing, while Dale's potential travel expenses is being projected into as an expense out of 56-00, would we have any interest in breaking that out to its own line, strictly for economic development, so it becomes a little more apparent of the use? We can track that over the future, regardless of what that number might be.
I'd like that separate.
Oh, there you go.
Is that okay, Paula?
Yeah, I would just put it 5605. It'd be right underneath there, identified.
Thank you.
That'd be good.
Just need to know where you want it.
I think we're all, if I'm not speak, we're good with the 31,000. I think 700
Yeah.
for admins traveling
Yes.
based off of old previous years.
Yes.
Then we're creating a new line and deciding.
How much to put in there? That's better. So Councilman Sanders says 50. You have a number that you're thinking?
I want to swing for the fences.
50. And what are you?
I can't swing.
And you
for
can't
the
do
fences.
50, but what are you? 12 or 35?
Hearing that Mr. King, you're open to coming, quarterly to give us updates on that,
Yeah.
which I think would be great. I would maybe split between the 35 and 12 and come in the middle. Just kind of give us a year of progress to see where we're at and try things.
I'll say 35. Bit simple. Yeah, 50, 50, 35, and what are you, a 20?
20 something. Doing math. I do 25.
Are the 50s willing to come down so we can meet in the middle at 35?
Unfortunately, I think this overly conservative approach is what has gotten us into this realm where we have a bunch of potential ground and not a lot of action on the takers.
Also,
we
only been in
have-
position for 1 year.
We've had economic developers off and on for decades,
Yeah.
but the the growth of what we've acquired in new ground in the potential industrial area and the airport area, the rail study, we have a lot of dominoes moving in the right direction. I feel like an Achilles heel to forward progress is going to be a conservative approach to economic development. If we're going to look at balancing the property tax burden and remove some of that burden from the residents, we're going to have to move in the direction of commerce and industry on the larger scale. We have a lot of that, like we've carved out an area where we're going to build the ball field, but this is going to be another tile in the build it and they will come realm. And I would like us positioned to go chase those things.
I would meet with Councilwoman Worklow's 35. I think for me, it's one of those of understand, but I also don't. I'd like to see some more tangible and some progress than just writing for 50. So, if you approve 35, then come back next year and keep going, I guess, is how I look at it.
But yeah, it's a new program.
It is.
So
So we have another thing that's pending. What was the other thing that was pending that we have to come back to that we had a split decision on? Water.
We have civic groups.
We have civic groups.
Councilman McCarthy, you mentioned something briefly between things that you had, but I don't have a note for it. It was a passing comment, just briefly, like maybe.
Civic groups.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So third, what was the final on this one?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think
We
have a
haven't yet.
split.
Oh, sorry, that's okay. I caught up. Sorry.
So, should we go to lunch and then come back? Because we got to make up our mind on this one, water, and I think civic groups might take a little bit. So it gives us time to process. Are we good with that?
I'm good with that. I will have to step out for a 2:00 meeting. That is priority. Unfortunately, no disrespect, but
I don't need an hour and a half lunch. I'm used to taking a 30-minute lunch on my job, so.
unfortunately we can't start until 1:30 because that's what the agenda.
Oh,
is.
gotcha.
So
Okay.
if you adjourn now, you can't come back until
Oh,
1:30.
okay, gotcha. Okay,
Kind of push through.
okay, we can keep working.
So council, if I was going to vote, and I hear all your guys' sides on Dale's, the fiscal conservative person in me, would probably go with the 35. That's. I could go either way, but
Was that a shock?
Yeah,
Holy cow.
electrifying.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Sanders.
looking over the documents Dale's presented, there's a couple of conferences that were they not to be attended. And perhaps the number for regional travel, the number of trips were half of what was proposed, which was 20 to about 10. You'd be looking at about $14,000 off of his prime budget, which puts us right back in that $35,000 range. With that being said, that would be acceptable to me as a starting point.
Council, if we start bumping up against the limiter on if we went with the middle ground option and an opportunity comes up that would put us over in that line, are you amenable to having the discussion in
Always.
that instance that like, hey, we have a potential here, we don't have the funds to expend, but we need to send Dale on this?
100%.
Okay. I'll be willing to settle at that middle. I don't think it's the best option, but I'll compromise to that.
All right.
Without,
Okay.
as the legals say, without prejudice.
There you go.
Okay, last
I
but,
think I missed it. What was our regular one? Is 31.7 or
our,
31?
our regular one stays the same. We're just trying to go to the 35.
Which is
Yeah.
31 cents.
New line with 35.
That was like
Ours, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, civic lines.
Thanks, Dale.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll start out at the top with Arts Council. Okay, yeah, the 9015.
It's the one above it, civic support.
Civic support. And
No, the 90, what, Arts Council.
90,
9010.
10 and 0.
Oh.
Civic support.
Copy that.
And Mayor, you said you used that for like high school type events and everything. Yeah. Did you use the full amount? this year?
Close. We're like, I think,
We're almost there this year. We've had more requests from high school and local. Generally, just use it for.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm okay leaving that at 4. As long as you're using it towards like the youth.
I'm good with 4 for 90-10.
Agreed.
Councilman Harjo?
Yes.
Okay, Arts Council?
I'd like to leave that the same.
They did a good job with their presentation and providing all the requirements for their contract.
For transparency, I am part of their, in the past, I've been part on their exploratory committee for a venue.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I feel there's no conflict, but for transparency and appearance, I'm just going to pull myself away from this particular item.
But
Receiving
also
funds, do
with
you?
with the caveat that you've never received any funding from
Right.
that, right? Like, and to the same, I started out on that for a while. Had to take priority with some other things, but same, like that's not a compensated role. So,
Something like with the library, how you.
So I'm gonna-
right. I mean, being a liaison to a
I'm
department.
in favor at the requested amount.
All right,
I'm trying to
or sorry, domestic violence?
catch up real quick here.
They
I'm
wanted
sorry, Mayor.
10. Oh, you're good. I think they
so-
wanted 10, right? Instead of 7?
Councilman Harger, were you good with the Arts Council?
Yes. Yes. I'm trying to make sure that all of our notes get put in there. What was the first one? I apologize.
First
Four.
one's 4 for the civic group, 9010.
Which one was that?
9010 civic group, 4,000.
Mayor, City Council, or excuse me, yeah, Civic.
9010,
Civic support, sorry. Yeah, civic.
And then 7 for arts.
4,000. What's the arts line?
9015.
15. And we're staying at 7.
It is. Yeah, she's asking for 10.
Um,
I gotta see why she was asking for 10 again. I can't remember. She didn't provide her her financials, I don't think. Right?
Had 2 letters.
Yeah.
It's just,
So I'm sorry, I don't. So that organization didn't, I guess technically, do their per contract. They didn't provide per contract.
I don't, Mayor Council, I don't know if they can provide everything considering the nature of
Of
their
what you
work.
do.
I
I
would,
mean,
I think
you
that's been
could.
stated.
I would agree with
You
that.
don't put names to it, but you can put down numbers, right?
Yeah, I would assume that you could, yeah, you
I-
could at least put the number down.
I just know that some of their stuff is,
Right.
so.
Can opioid funding that you get or you're struggling to do with that money, could that go towards something like
No,
that?
ma'am.
No, okay.
Not at all.
So No, I'm just asking.
I know.
Probably give them some Narcan.
No,
there's
well,
just-
you didn't provide exactly what it could go towards other than Narcan, so I didn't know exactly what.
It's a weird convoluted
Uh,
rule around that.
drug, counseling, rehabilitation, Narcan,
Speakers.
education to specific opioid use.
Gotcha.
It's very much centralized around opioid use.
Yes, that's the only thing I saw was the two.
I have to go back and look at all, like, when I get the information from them, I provide them in the council packet. Like, if I get them, I provide them in the next immediate council packet, so you would have to.
What you guys' thoughts on instead of the 7 or sorry, they asked for 10. Keep it at 7.
I'm keeping it at 7. I want to keep it at 7, just to be consistent with the rest of our civic groups to keep it equal across the board. That's just my opinion.
I'd be in favor in keeping it at 7 as well.
Sanders?
7.
Marjo?
7.
90-25 museum support.
Did she come and get her 7 from this year?
Um,
She didn't realize.
They requested it, yeah, through email.
Again, I'm fine with the 7 as long as. And she did. She met all the checkbox for her contract. So.
I'd be good with the 7 as well.
Okay. Councilman Harjo?
7.
Everyone's favorite public transit? 90-30?
Can we skip that one?
Yeah.
and go to the other?
Yeah,
'Cause I have a
okay, we'll
lot
skip
less
that one. Let's go
discussion.
to
Okay,
90-40 senior citizens.
7.
Good with the 7.
Okay. Councilman Harjo?
7. That's 90-40, correct?
Yes.
Councilman Sanders, 7?
Yes.
Okay. Meals on Wheels?
I'm
7.
good with 7.
Yep.
Okay.
You'll always hear me ask for more money in that one, and I'm going to say it again this year. That's a program that benefits people directly. They did not ask for more, and I recognize that we've already all said 7, except for myself. But that's one that I will always ask to fund more. So if there's any consideration for that,
What is your thought? I think the discussion's worth having.
they're very conservative with what they do, but they serve a very underserved portion of our community that frequently rely on those meals, whether they eat there at the senior center in person or Meals on Wheels deliveries. There are a good handful of city staff that volunteer to drive those meals out to people in our community, and the FaceTime of doing that might be their only meal for the day, and that might be their only personal interaction for the day. I don't know if you guys would be comfortable with upping that to 10, but that would be my ask. It's a direct impact to the people.
Tiffany, did we get not seeing anything in here, did we get something from Meals on Wheels?
It's combined with the senior center.
Sorry.
The programming's all ran out of that one building.
Mm-hmm.
You'd say the same argument with domestic violence too. It's a direct impact, right? On
I don't discount that.
Well, speaking as someone who's closer to being in a place where they might come to use such a service,
and whatever you're building a kitchen in your backyard.
He's working on
yeah,
it.
but when they put
He's
the burn
eyeing
ban
us.
on, that's useless because I won't use gas. I'm not adverse an increase on that line.
They asked for 7. They could have asked for 10 with justification because that is their organization. That lays on them. If they want an increase, just like police came in with an increase and you gave a really good justification on why. And so we honored that. So I feel like if they wanted more than 7, they could have presented that with justification. So I'm going to stay at 7.
All right, Council McCarthy, do you like senior citizens? That's no.
Oh, whatever.
And it's not meant to frame it in that way, right?
Go to the transit or the.
He's like, I want to discuss
Water
that
and-
first.
Let's go back
Right.
to water and wastewater.
Right. And it's not to frame it in that sense. It's that we do talk a lot about the financial impact to our limited income seniors. And this is one of those times where we could put our money where our mouth is or leave it status quo.
And the experience behind this group tends to be an increase in revenue doesn't take them from beans and franks to ribeye steaks. It's
Agreed.
10,000 more meals in the year provided those that were eligible. So it's not necessarily more for more. It's more for as much spread wider. So whichever way the council would like to go, I just look at this one and see my own approaching birthdays go by and go, I'm a big eater.
I'm also a big fan on community donations, right? Like both my boys, when they wanted to do their Trail Life project and do their fundraising, they picked the senior center. I didn't tell them to. I said, what do you want? This is what's out there. And that's where their heart was tugging. And that's where they donated their fundraisers towards, right? So that's, again, where I get a little, like, you donate where your heart is instead of so much of relying on government handouts. I know I sound terrible when I say that, but that's just, I'm a open book. I'm staying with my 7.
Here, I thought civics group was gonna go quick.
No, I never do.
Well, it's prone to say with a lot of folks from time to time when stuff comes up, you know what the answer is if you don't ask.
Right. If the status quo is the status quo, at least it's not a reduction, right? I would fight tooth and nail if there was a proposed reduction to this.
Have them come next year with justification
Sure.
and say, hey, this is how many more people we can feed. Then my heartstrings will probably be tugged a little. So
I think I'm
old and crusty.
I would lean towards Councilwoman Worklow's. They asked for 7. You can always say next year if you want to. So, because if we're going to pick one, then how do we pick 2? So,
At this point, I'll save my energy for a bigger fight that's upcoming and say, okay,
Fair.
as
7?
requested.
All
7.
right, 7 it is. Visitor center support,
What line is that?
9050.
I'm good with the 7.
7's fine.
Yes.
7.
All right, the fun one, 9030, public transit.
So Tiffany, clarification, they're past we've done 38,500, but they're asking an increase to total of 52,000. So an increase of 13,500, right? Okay. Just want to make sure I understood that.
Did you guys all get the grant? I think Tiffany, you probably put it in the.
I included it in the email that went out to everybody on Friday,
Yeah.
and I dropped it in the chair folder as well.
Thank you.
You
Did
did
everyone
drop
have a chance to see that?
So, Councilwoman, did you say you dropped that in the share?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I attached it to the email.
I remember you
Go
attaching it. I
on
just didn't.
down.
Yeah, I think it's at the very bottom. I don't believe I numbered it.
It's like maybe I just need to refresh.
Memo kiosk. Budget change
Drive
budget
just
memo
fine.
admin.
It's in a folder in our email.
It's executed grant document, executed
Here we go.
5311
There it is.
FY26.
Okay. Thanks, Tiffany.
I didn't rename it.
That's all
That was what her name was.
So, Mr. Councilman Sanders,
Mm-hmm.
you are our grant guru here.
I've had some experience along the way.
In that language there, do you see anything that red flags where it says they would lose their grant funding if they start charging a fee for passengers? Because I read through it, but I am not as well versed with grants as you are.
To be clear though, the decision is not for us to make for them to charge for.
100%, you're right. It's not. But it can weigh in our decision on how much they get based off that.
Well,
At least in my opinion.
I'm going through and taking a look at this. I do recall seeing something that got my attention. A couple of things got my attention. One, I will ask my colleagues to take a look under paragraph. Where was it? I just had it here and I moved off of it. Sorry. Okay. Under number 4, it's page 4 of the document. One of the challenges they're going to be facing, we take a look. The balance of the grant, and this is common in a lot of federal programs, the domestic share, the domestic content, in other words, the amount of local support that's received increases in the years, and federal support tends to back off. That is very common in federal programs of this nature. But I don't have this as a searchable PDF, but there generally has been restrictions on generating revenues in these types of grants, which a fee for writing would be, as a measure of satisfying their domestic portion of the grant. And that's probably how she is phrasing that. There's a lot of federal documentation in here. And then the state is acting as, the state is acting as the grantor for the feds. So it goes into the state requirements. Waiver. Okay. This is not searchable.
Did you do Control F?
Have to convert it to a readable file first. Does it still work on?
Yeah, it'll work. At least on my computer. I don't know on the computer.
I really miss Adobe Acrobat. I wish Brandon was here to hear that. So on Terry's cover sheet from her visit here, in her handout, they discuss the category of administration having a 20% match ratio, operations 42.5%, and preventative maintenance is 8%. Are those numbers that we'd be willing to chase trying to back into? I mean, granted, this is specific to us while their grant operates across multiple cities. So we're not going to have some of like how TVT operates in Caldwell and we piggyback off of their program. We're not going to have the Caldwell figures. So
I think, Councilman Farger, are you reading off of this, or do you have this letter?
I have this one in front of me. I haven't dug that one out yet.
This got from Terry. It was my understanding that the additional funding request is just to add the additional 2 hours. I don't know if anyone ever has any other information that's contrary to that, but that's how I'm understanding this. It's from the 38,000 is it's to,
The additional routes, right?
because when you look at that, as Councilman Harjo had that, I was sitting here kind of trying to figure out, well, how do you break out the city amount, 47,000, and then the city fund bears 5,000, so.
Right.
It's my understanding that this request is to fund the additional hours.
Councilman McCarthy, are you referencing the email that she sent to you, or is this a separate?
This was given us in our packet, but I think it is the email that it's printed off for us.
And then she emailed us after the meeting on, well, she emailed me on June
11?
11th, and then I asked to make sure she forwarded it to all you guys, so I don't know.
I
You
think
got it? Okay.
I got a separate email from you, I think. I don't know that she like CC'd the same thing to
Oh.
everybody. Councilwoman Workla, does yours have a paragraph in there that states the $5,000 being asked for does bring in an additional 11,550 in grant funds that are critical. The total loss would be 16.5, and that would scale back $167,000 in grant funding to provide the service. Estimated cost to be compliant with regulations to process fares will be over $500 a month, and for that one reason, it's cost prohibitive. Is that in your?
Yeah.
Okay.
How much did she ask for last year and we didn't give her the full amount? Oh, maybe I have it written down here. Hang on. Answer my own question. Oh my goodness. That's not right.
Not to kick a dead horse, but in the notes from 25, 26, the senior center did ask for $9,000,
He's like, I'm not gonna
and we
look it up.
didn't give that.
So
to
last
them.
year she asked for 44,000, and I believe we we kept it at
38.
38.5. Yeah. So she asked for an increase last year. What was it? What's the difference of that? 5,500 or something. And we didn't give her that increase last year.
It's unfortunate that if we don't fund this part, that they're going to lose out on some additional funding. And I think that's the part that hangs me up. There just in the last couple of weeks, there's been some kind of eye-opening experience from my lived experience where sitting in Desert Sage, I saw at least 2 people come and go from Treasure Valley Transit to go to their either doctor's appointments or go into the clinic. As well, sitting in a local restaurant watching somebody get off of Treasure Valley Transit, come inside, a senior who, by all accounts, is not getting out of their house very much. The gals who worked in that restaurant were welcoming them, saying, "Hey, you weren't here at your normal time." He says, "Hey, I missed the bus the first go around," and that person may have only been getting out of their house that one instance that day to get a low cost meal and have some social interaction. And I know that doesn't exactly tug on everybody's heartstrings, but those are the things that, like, seeing it occur, and that's the conduit that gets people to the stores, to their doctor's appointments, to the senior center, to their local social groups. And the fact that that they're going to be losing out on some funding, I'm leaning towards funding it. It is a big ask, but at minimum, I would rather not lose that function within our community at its current rate to the consumer.
So according to this memo that we got part of our packet, it's saying in FY26 the city did not fund the additional 2 hours of service, so that's Elmore County did, and TVT made the decision to fund the additional 2 hours. We did so with revenue earned by our Canyon County services. That funding is now being used to cover additional cost increases. Okay. Councilman Sanders.
Yeah, but right now they're all on a swirl in my head, and trying to get them into a coherent string of thought is my challenge at the moment. I'm at the risk of being called a bit soft-hearted. This service extends throughout the city. It is available to anyone who wants to use it. If they're getting it at value added, for some it's a matter of necessity. For others, it's value added. I mean, I could get on the line and ride it back home when it was available to me if I wanted to take the time to wait for it to come around, and it wouldn't cost me anything. So it's value added if I want it, but for a lot of folks, it's a matter of being able to get to and from some place in a manner that doesn't take as long as the alternative. And for some with specialized needs, it takes special equipment to do that. I'd like to see that service expanded. Yeah, I would. I'd like to see it at least not be diminished. And when there are federal funds available as a force multiplier, which is what is provided under the grant, then that amount makes me want to balance between what we invest versus what we receive. And if the match right now is 80-20, then a 100% increase would be 120%, just to make the math simple. Do I want to get into the weeds with them about how they're running it? I can do that. I'm looking at the federal program right now for language because I don't see it in the state program. But rather than mince words with them, they've offered us their metrics. They've shown us the performance. They've shown their willingness to go out and seek other sources like going through the county. And I believe what they're doing is valuable because we don't have a transportation system that's owned by the city at this point. So I am more than willing to entertain an amount that will not have us go backwards with this ability.
I agree with that, Councilman Sanders.
Did you say Elmore County is gonna give the 9,325? Did they already confirm that? They are going to give that amount? Do you remember? Because even if we give this amount that she's requesting and the county doesn't, then she's short anyway. I know that sounds terrible, but you know insurance went way up.
Right.
19% is not terrible.
That was 2025, 10% in 20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you for seeing that. So they're not expanding their route, they're expanding their hours. Yes, I read that wrong, right? Yeah, additional 2 hours of operation on the city route and maintain the fare free service. So they're not expanding the service. It's just they're expanding the hours of what they already provide. So if we don't give them the 13,500, they'll still maintain the service. without the additional time. Is that how you guys are reading it? Yeah, so it's not going away, it's not diminishing, it's just not going to increase the time. That they can provide the service.
But their cost to deliver the existing service has gone up as well. I get what that says. I'm just trying to account for the other side of that equation, that for them to deliver, gas and oil has gone up, insurance has gone up.
Again,
All right, I got two council that
it's
are
like,
for it.
should we go to lunch and then come back and have time to digest this, and then the water one, because that water one, I don't think it's really a split, strong split.
I'm fine with breaking so we can give staff some lunchtime.
Yeah.
Is that okay with you guys?
Did you want to go get lunch?
Yeah, I just will not be present at 2:00.
That's
So,
okay.
and so,
Thank you.
We'll just have this.
Transit.
And the transit. Councilman Sanders, you'll probably be leading the show if I'm will I'll be with Tiff too.
can, I guess thus far, because I don't know how 2:00 will pan out for me, can I get a council to motion on everything approved thus far, excluding the water on this agenda item, so that we know we can proceed
I didn't,
on the staff's recommendation?
did we carry an action item on the agenda today?
We
Mhm.
did.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
It's just to approve staff's recommendation on the proposed budget. So everything we've worked, at least, it'll all come back to you for final, but at least,
But real quick on that, Chris, were you able to provide numbers for well 18 to get started? And because it was, so well 18 and storage tank number 5 wasn't in the budget book, but that was something that you said you wanted to get started. And I asked, what would well 18 look like to be phased out? Oh, okay.
All right, Council.
Okay.
Councilman Sanders.
You probably have the better accounting where we have the gaps. Is it possible you could phrase that in a motion that will help Tiffany get better prepared for the afternoon?
So it's just the water person and that's it. But everything else is copacetic, right?
Yes, we've closed out every other thing on the change log except for those two.
So
I can make the motion to adopt the proposed budget that has been provided on June 29th, 2026, with the changes noted on the change log, with the the salary for the water operator position and Treasure Valley Transit under 9030 yet to be decided.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Sanders.
Aye.
Councilman McCarthy.
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla.
I
Councilman Harjo.
Aye.
All right.
And I will email the change log to everybody real quick so we have the latest and greatest in front of us.
All right. Meeting adjourned. See you at 1:30.
don't think I could be a truck driver.